Hey, good morning and welcome back, everybody. Redoing this video again. My last video that I recorded totally got corrupted. I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully there's going to be a much better run. Anyway, welcome to another installment. We're going to be covering overall real estate market, obviously, and the whole county of San Diego. And then we're going to narrow it down to specifically Santa Fe Hills, as well as Rancho Santalina as well. I kind of brought that in because it's a smaller area, about 200 homes, and there is definitely some overhang as far as price effect on pricing, as far as what homes sell for there versus what they sell for in Santa Fe Hills. We're close enough to have some kind of effect on it. Anyway, welcome back. If it's your first time, excuse me. Let me put a Okay, so had to get a cough here. Anyway, welcome back. If it's the first time you coming to watch the video, hopefully I'm going to give you a lot of information and you're really going to understand what's going on. We're going to talk about overall market. We're going to talk about Santa Fe Hills. We're going to touch on Santalina as well. And then at that point, I want to talk a little more about the NAR, National Association of Realtor lawsuit, because a lot of bullshit information is floating. The news is obviously pumping it, telling you things are going to change a lot, and ultimately there's going to be some victims here. Most of the victims are first-time buyers and VA buyers. Let me clear my throat. Okay, so first of all, let's talk about the overall market. The overall market is wonderful for sellers. The low inventory and the mortgage rates at this point, they are in I think I checked today, they're around 6.5 or so. They were 6.2 Friday. So they're jumping up and down all the time. So this is the rates I'm quoting you are basically there just so you have a feel for what its rates are like. And the rates I'm giving you are par rates, which means that doesn't include origination fees and costs involved with making the loan. Usually those run around 1%, 1.2%, depending on the loan amount. So if you have an $800,000 loan, you're going to have probably $8,000, $9,000 worth of fees. And in most cases, those get wrapped into the loan itself and financed as well. So there's no money out of pocket when it comes to getting a loan. The only thing you guys usually end up paying for is appraisal. By the way, I've mentioned this before to you. Let me throw this up really quick. Okay, that's who I am. If I mentioned it to you before, besides being a real estate broker with 22 years of experience, I'm also a mortgage loan originator. So if you have some questions about that, you're looking to get a loan, whatever the situation is, feel free to reach out. And I'm going to be able, hopefully, to shed some light on your situation. Anyway, so let's just move through and on, and we'll see what we get. So let's talk about this a little bit. So the newsletter is out. I'm covering some things like mortgage rates. We already touched on that. Mortgage rates are driving the market. Like I said, a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines and waiting for mortgage rates to go down before they sell a property and buy another property. I think it's foolish. And let me tell you why. So first of all, right now, the mortgage rates are around 6.8%. What happens is when they drop to 5.5 or 6%, what's going to happen is we're going to have a flood of new buyers who were out of the market because they couldn't afford. Now they can afford, competing for the same listing. So maybe you can get more for your house, but you're going to end up paying more for the next house and probably have a much harder time buying the new house because, again, there could be a contingency as far as your sale as well. So I just don't think it's a great way of doing things. Things are usually even in the market. If you have an opportunity to sell now, and a lot of times we're able to provide you a rent back where you can stay in your home up to 2 months additional. Sometimes at no extra cost to you. You have the money in place, and at this point you can go and start looking for your new property. Because ultimately, if you are waiting for rates to drop before you do anything, you're really going to be, I think, in a worse situation than you are now. So what else I want to talk about? I want to touch on that. Crash. I don't know. What am I going to say about the crash? You guys, whoever thinks that's going to happen, if you have a friend that's telling you that's going to happen, you can share this video with them. They're totally foolish. Two components are required for a crash to take place. Number one, you have to have distressed sellers, A. And B, you have to also have people that don't have equity. Okay, why? Distressed sellers, again, if you have a lot of distressed sellers, whatever the situation is, people lost their jobs, sometimes people sell because of a divorce, whatever that situation is, they still have equity. Okay, so there's no need to have a foreclosure. They just have to put the home on the market, get it sold like any other listing, and move on, right? So that itself doesn't increase inventory, and if it does, it's a small blimp. And because of continued low inventory, because like I said, everybody has equity more or less, the chances of a crash, in my view, in the next 24 months is zero. Now, there could be some black swan event, war, as this new administration is getting into every freaking crap as possible. Instead of taking care of their citizens, they're all over the place. And I think, like I said, hopefully this does not lead to World War III. And I'm speaking from the point, like I said, I was born in the region of Ukraine. I came here when it was still Soviet Union, so I have my own view on it. The people here are not benefiting from any of this. Only the governments. Okay, so anyway, we'll just move on. I don't want to get political. So I'm just going to tell you, if you are going to buy a property, if you have a friend that's a first-time buyer, if you're waiting on the sidelines, you got to jump on a train. You got to buy now. As prices improve, remember, your price will improve on your property as well. And you're going to be able to move up. If rates drop, you're going to be able to refinance. So it's a win-win in many cases, because otherwise, I think you're going to see further appreciation. This inflation's out of the tube. It's been squeezed out. There's no way they're going to put it back in. I just don't see how they're going to do it. Just like me, you go shopping for food, you go to restaurants, you see how prices have risen. It's nuts. It's not going to go away. And I think income for most people need to be pushed up quite a bit to actually catch up to the inflation. Anyway, that's all I want to talk about about the crash. I want to talk about, before I get into the NAR, I want to kind of cover about what's going on in Rancho's Santa Fe Hills neighborhood. So let me just pop this up. You can see me. Let me go ahead and minimize myself further. So as you can see here, what is in the market right now? You've seen everything. We have a new listing that came up at 714 Casita Lane. This was a previous rental. I don't think it's in great shape. I don't think it's going to sell for that. Time will show, but that's my own opinion. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. I believe this has a bathroom on the bottom. So this one is, like I said, 5'3", about 3,035 square feet. They're asking 1.2 for it. I personally don't think it's going to sell for that price, but we'll see again. The other one on the market right now is 735 Via Cafetal, as you can see. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 3,500 square feet. It's a big house. They're asking $1,380,000 for it. Probably a little too much for the house. It's not a view side of that street, because the other side of the street kind of looks at the new construction over there and the new developments and the little lake that's below. So we'll see what happens on that one. The next one is Avenida Codorniz, 819, 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 3334. It's a KB home built in 2004. They're asking $1,433,000, right? They were asking $1,422,000. So actually they went up in price. They're in the market for, as you can see here, 34 days. Not sure what they're thinking. Like I said, people think it's easy to sell. It's easy to be a listing agent. At least it's easy to be a listing agent that gets sellers, 50, 60, 100,000 more. It's not. If you follow me, you see me doing this every time. In fact, I'm going to show you one right now that is closing, should be today. So by the time you get this newsletter, it should be closed. So let's talk about Tesoro, 1036 Tesoro Avenue. 32 days in the market, 5-bedroom, 4-bath, 2431. I believe actually this one is 5-bedroom, 3.5-bath, 2431. Asking original price was $1,250,000. They were down to $1,189,000. So what you see in doing is they're chasing the market. And what I try to do all the time is I I create a situation for my clients where the market chases them and pushes them up. You really have a lot of leverage when the market wants you versus you want the market, like anything in life. So anyway, so it's the next one. I believe this was already in escrow once or twice, so it popped out again. 710 Via Barquero just came in the market, a smaller single story like I sold a month and a half ago too. 3-bedroom, 2-bath. They're asking $998 for it. The one I sold was also a single story with a pool and a corner lot, a good sized corner lot. I believe we got that in escrow at $1,032,000. That closed about that price. We'll see what can happen on this one. I looked at it. There's not really a lot of upgrades, but we'll see what the market says. That's the most important part. Another one that just came in the market and already spending, 736 Via Cafetal, 4-bedroom. I believe it's a 3-bath, 3307. They were asking $1,325,000 for it. It is a view property. It's looking at the lake compared to the other one that we just covered in Capital. It's an escrow one day. We'll see what happens. We'll see will they stay and close. We'll find out. Time will tell. Now this is the one I was talking about. It's 1388 Corte Lira. I can open this up. No big deal here. So anyway, we had this on the market for $835,000. It's a really small home. 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath. About 1,554 square feet, and this one actually backs to La Sposa, so it's getting some noise road noise as well. So it's going to be closed today. So I can tell you that sold for $100,000 more. So we're closing at $935, new record. And if you follow me again, I set records all the time. How I can do this? Again, let me talk about the program. We get everybody. We identify all the most motivated buyers, and we get those most motivated buyers in at the same time within the first hour and a half. Usually the program is very convenient because you don't have one-off showings. You don't have to make sure the place looks amazing every day. It's kind of a pain in the ass, right? You have to kind of stop your life and do what you need to do. And so we had all the people come in on Saturday and Sunday. We had a lot of people. And because we had the market push the price up, we were able to get 100,000 over on it. So that's the story on that one. Let's go to 762 Magnifico. It's pending. This is, in fact, I looked at it today. I think that was active, so it just went pending again. I think this is the third time. Now 762 Camino Magnifico, this is an open door property. If you know about open door, they buy homes for cash. 4-bedroom, 3-bath, 2264. Originally, they were asking $1,162,000. I thought, that's interesting because I'm pretty sure they actually changed the price on that. But regarding, it's an escrow $1,162,000, so we'll see if it closes or not. Next property is 809 Via Barquero, which is our listing, or my listing, I should say. We have this. It's a 5-bedroom, 3-bath. 2873. This one has a bedroom downstairs. It's the one with the 90-degree garage. I can show you if you like it right here. So this is the property. Anyway, we had it on the weekend, I believe 2 weekends ago. We had it on for $1,150,000. We have an escrow at substantially higher price, and I can reveal that to you hopefully by next week. It's supposed to close at the end of the month, okay? But it is an escrow. We have a solid buyer from what it looks like now. The only one I want to touch on is 1275 Avenida Amistad, 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath, 1762 square feet. It was on the market for 8 days. The asking price was $929, so we'll see what that closes. So just follow me. Like I said, when I put out a new video, you'll see what it closed at. Okay, let's talk about the new closes. We had one that closed at the end of March, 329. This is in my neighborhood, 1534 Loma Alta. 4-bedroom. I believe this one is a 3-bath as well, not 2.5. 3,035 square feet. It was listed originally at $1,250,000 and it closed at $1,210,000. Looks like they gave away $10,000. I think that home should have sold at $1,250,000, but like I said, it all depends on the agents you use. It's really, really important for you to think. If you're trying to save 1% of that is $12,000, but then you'll give up 40. You have to ask yourself, did you really make a win or not? So anyway, this one was excellent property on Corte Raquel, had nice upgrades. 5-bedroom, 3-bath, 2773. It's an older home, but really, really nicely kept up. listed at 1,275,000, closed at 1,336,000. So that was a good one. I think that's pretty much it at this point. I think all the other ones are kind of closed later. So let me just switch really quick for Rancho Santalina and show you what's there. Real quick, boom, so it's here. So there's not a lot of homes. There's about 8-9 sales during the year there, not usually a lot of activity. So let's look at the last closing. Last closing was on Via Hacienda 962, 42 days in the market. As I told you before, the reason I do our program is we get things done within a weekend. Days in the market is really a negative to when it comes to perceived value. Every day you're in the market longer than first 6-7 days, your perceived price starts to be suppressed. It goes down in value because people, if it's a great property, why isn't it immediately sold, right? So you have to look at psychology of the buyers. Anyway, asked for $999, dropped it to $969. It wasn't me, somebody else, obviously. $940 was a close price, closed on the 25th of March. Now there's another one on the market on Hydra, 902 Hydra. These people are nuts, obviously, or the agent. Maybe those people don't need to sell and just giving the agent somewhere to put their name. I would never want to have a listing that doesn't sell because that's a bad reflection on me, especially everybody can look up my records now. Anyway, quickly, asking $1,495, 2,875 square feet. Okay, I don't think it's going to sell, but like I said, that's my view. So let me pop back up here. So I'm back. Let's talk about NIR real quick, close this out. Hopefully this recording is going to be better than the last one. I'll be able to just post it. Anyway, NAR, National Association of Realtors. Lawsuit that was originated kind of in the Midwest. It was a class action suit. If you know anything about class action suit, people that are pulled into it, I call them the useful idiots, usually don't get nothing from it. The attorneys usually have amazing payday. Now, NAR been accused of charging too much. Well, actually, that wasn't specifically. They were specifically accused of price fixing. That somehow the seller complained, their sellers complained, they found a couple of chumps there, complaining that why do they have to pay a buyer agent out of their commission, right? They're paying listing agent, and usually that commission somehow gets divided. For example, if I charge 5.5, I might get 3, 2.5. It just depends. It's all up to me. So the way I look at it as a listing agent, I get paid for my ability to do work, for my ability to bring value. And I think I bring a lot of value by selling homes for a lot more than sellers expect. So anyway, when sellers pay me whatever that amount is, say 5, 5.5, whatever that is, 6, whatever, it depends on the situation. That money is used by me to market the property. I market the property by throwing it online. I make print ads, send postcards, make calls. All that costs money, right? It's my time. And besides that, I also advertise to other buyer agents. And I tell them how much they'll get paid if we can put a deal together. It sounds okay to me because it's coming out of my proceeds anyway, right? My proceeds, because that's the amount I agreed to with the seller. So apparently, what this lawsuit has done, NAR, National Association of Realtors, they're, I don't know how to say, incompetent dumbasses, and they hired same type of attorneys, total dumbasses. This is a really easy lawsuit to defend. They're saying we're price fixing. Well, that's BS, total bullshit, because we have Redfin, we have Help You Sell, we have Assist to Sell, we have all other options for sellers to use. Some agents will charge 1%. So there's all kinds of options, including selling by owners. So you can't say there's price fixing. Like I said, it just depends. You can charge whatever you want. You can offer the other agents whatever you want. And what really astonishes me, that this effing attorneys, right? Most of them work in contingency. If you ever been in a private personal injury suit, and all those are on contingency basis, all those attorneys are going to charge you exactly the same, 33 1/3% of whatever they can win for you. I don't know about you, but that sounds like price fixing to me, right? But obviously attorneys are not going to sue attorneys. So again, whoever the attorneys were for NAR, representing National Association of Realtors, supposedly representing us, were fools. They totally effed up on this. They totally screwed up. And now the media is throwing the stuff that rates are going to drop. Ain't going to do anything at all. We just have to, we cannot, now we can't put what we're paying to the other agent in the MLS. And really, this is the reason for MLS, exchange information. Now those people are going to have to call us directly and find out what it's going to take, what can we get them to make the deal, put the deal together. And B, they're going to have, which is a good thing, a contract with the buyer agent. And in that contract, the buyer will have to agree to pay a certain amount of dollars or percent to this buyer agent, right? So what happens if the seller doesn't want to pay for that? So now the buyer agent is going to have to get money directly from the buyer. Now, in some cases, many cases, first-time buyers don't have the money to pay for that, right? So now it's only hurting first-time buyers. VA buyers cannot pay for anything at all. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out with VA buyers, right? They can't pay for commissions. So this is the huge problem, okay? So this whole case, like I said, it's total nonsense. It's just a lot of noise. It's really not going to change anything. It's not really going to bring commissions down or anything else. Just like you, when you go to work, right? The only reason you're going to work is because you know exactly how much you're going to get paid at the end of the week, and then the month. Real estate agents work the same way. Now, majority of real estate agents probably do under 3 transactions. Probably a good 85% do less than 3 transactions a year. They really don't make a lot of money. That's why they're doing it part-time. I'm not sure why you want to use someone like that. But ultimately, like I said, good agents are just going to become more popular. Agents that bring value to buyers, the sellers, etc. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that. There's more to say, but we're at 21 minutes. I'm going to leave this video. I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful April, and I'll see you next month. If you have any questions, feel free to leave comments on YouTube. If you want to look at the loan possibility or you're looking to sell, feel free to reach out, and I'll see if I can help you. Thank you again. Bye-bye.